No Game, No Life, Volume 1, Prologue, Part 1. All rights are reserved to their respected owners. Urban legends. These whispers traveling through the world, as countless as the stars, represent a kind of wish. For instance, the urban legend that humans have never been to the moon. For instance, the Freemason conspiracy hidden in the dollar bill. For instance, the Philadelphia experiment into time travel, the nuclear shelter on the Chiyoda Line, Area 51, the Roswell incident, etc. Looking at these innumerable urban legends, one can see a clear pattern emerging. Namely, they are composed of a wish. It sure would be cool. It's said that there's no smoke without fire. But when you think about the nature of rumors and how big a fish gets embellished until it's too big to even be a fish, you can see how these urban legends come to form. In short, they're based on true stories, but not true stories. To put it bluntly, they're mostly BS. And yet they don't quite deserve to be complained about, or even wondered about, really. Since ancient times, people have always preferred fate over coincidence. From the very fact that the birth of humanity was the product of astronomically unlikely coincidence. Thus, people wanted to think, from their instincts, from the rules they had experienced, that someone intentionally made humanity. That the world was not made of chaos, but of order. Imagining someone in the back pulling the strings to find meaning in an absurd and unreasonable world. At the very least, wishing that it could be true. So it can be said that urban legends are generally another product of this earnest wish. So, there are urban legends numerous enough to light up the sky. What isn't too well known is that some of them are actually facts believed to be urban legends. Just to be clear, this isn't to say that any of the previously mentioned urban legends are true. It's just to say that there do exist urban legends emerging from a different principle. For instance, a rumor too surreal to believe becoming an urban legend. Here's an example of such a rumor. It's a rumor, whispered around earnestly on the internet, of a gamer named blank. They say he holds unbeatable records in the online rankings for over 280 games. That there's a gamer who swept up all the world's top ranks with his player name blank. You probably think, no way. Of course, that's what everyone thinks. The hypothesis they've come up with is simple. That it's become a trendy convention among game devs to just leave their names as a space in the rankings for their games so people wouldn't know who they were. And it isn't an actual player. Yet, bizarrely, people keep on claiming that they've actually played him. They say he's unbeatable. They say he shut out chess programs that have even beaten grandmasters. They say his playstyle defies common sense and is impossible to read. They say they use cheat codes and tools and they still lost. They say, they say, they say. Those who are even a little interested in such rumors probe deeper. Why? Because it's simple. If he has the top online ranks in console games, PC games, and social network games, then he must have an account. If he exists, then you should probably be able to look up his history. But there's no way such a person could actually, and then they sneer and search. And there's the trap. But there actually is a user registered with the name blank on every console, on every SNS, and anyone can see blank's history. And there lies a number of trophies who should literally be expressed as countless, because blank's history and match records list not a single loss. And so the plot thickens. Even though the facts are solid, the rumor becomes even more unbelievable. It's a hacker who erased their loss records. It's a gamer group that invites only the best players, etc., etc. Thus, a new urban legend is slowly born. On the other hand, in this case, some of the blame does lie with the party who originated the rumor. Blank. After all, he has had an account. He has been given a place to speak. Yet he speaks not a word and exchanges no contact. Since he lets out not a line of info, everything about him, except that he's Japanese, is a mystery. No one knows of his face. And this is yet another factor that accelerates the growth of an urban legend. And so, it's time for an introduction. This is it. The uncontested crown of the global rankings for over 280 games. The legendary gamer who continues to make unbeatable records. Blank. In the flesh. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I died. Come on. Res me already. I guess. It was too hard to use two mice with my feet. What? Just res me already. Hey, no fair, little sister. I haven't eaten anything in 3 days, and here you are leisurely slurping instant noodles in the middle of a battle. Brother, you want some? We've got some calorie mate. Calorie mate is for the Borgies. Who's gonna eat that? Just res me. Sure. Shop. Boing! Righto. Props. Wait, what time is it? Still 8 o'clock in the middle of the night. 8 a.m.? Is it the middle of the night? That's a new way of looking at it, my sister. What day is it? Don't know. It's my first, second, fourth cup of noodles. So, I guess fourth? No, my sister. I didn't mean how many days we've been up. I mean, what day of the month? You don't have a job. What does it matter? It matters. There are events on online games and tournaments. This young man and girl enjoying their online game, talking across the room without eye contact. The room was probably big enough for 16 tatami mats. Pretty big. But with the countless consoles, 4 PCs each, 8 total, the wiring that snaked around the floor with a complexity reminiscent of modern art, the open game boxes and the scattered noodle cups and plastic bottles they called rations. There wasn't enough space left in the room to feel the original size. In the pale light of the LED displays they had chosen based on their response rate, like true gamers, and the faint glimmer of the long risen sun through the blackout curtains, they spoke. Brother, aren't you gonna get a job? Well, are you gonna go to school today? They spoke no further. The brother, sorta, sky, or empty. 18. Unemployed, virgin, unpopular, socially incompetent, video game vegetable. A young man with messy black hair in jeans and a t-shirt, looking just the part of a shut-in. The sister, Shido, white. 11. Truant, friendless, bullied, socially phobic, and video game vegetable. A girl who looked too different to be related to him with her pure white hair, which still dangled low and apparently uncared for, covering her face as she sat in an elementary school sailor uniform she hadn't worn outside the house since she switched schools. The characters formed their names, put together, spelled Ku-Haku, blank. Well, so this is another kind of urban legend. You can leave it in the shadows, or you can have your dreams. Very well then. We see the processes by which urban legends form. In short, that they represent people's wishes as explained earlier. For this world is chaos, without fate, full of coincidence, unreasonable, absurd, devoid of meaning. And those who notice this, who don't want to admit it, wish that the world could be just a little more cool. And this is what is born from that earnest wish, an urban legend. So, it's time. Let me make this uncool reality a little more cool for you. I offer you a new urban legend. And on that note, as a convention, as a grace, I'd like to open as follows. Have you heard a rumor that goes like this? They say that people who are just too good at games will one day get an email. The body contains some cryptic words and a URL inviting them to a certain game. And if you beat that game,